The throne is not just wood, stone, or gold. It is a promise whispered across centuries. A promise that whoever sits upon it will command armies, bend nations, and carve their name into history. But history has a cruel sense of humor. It records triumphs in ink and betrayals in blood. Tyrants are not born as monsters. They arrive as dreamers, desperate enough to gamble everything. They see the throne not as a chair, but as the very gateway to eternity. Some claim divine right. Others shout revolution. All reach for the same seat, and in their hunger, they begin to kill. The closer the crown, the heavier their hands drip with blood. The throne glows because it consumes. And still, hands rise toward it, one after another, as if humanity is addicted to its curse. Every tyrant begins as a savior. They rise with speeches that promise bread for the hungry, work for the poor, and peace for the restless. Crowds cheer until their throats bleed, waving banners as though salvation has finally arrived. The tyrant smiles, playing the role of deliverer, and for a fleeting moment, the illusion feels real. Parades march through the streets. Soldiers swear oaths beneath banners dripping with color. The air smells of incense and firecrackers. And for those watching, hope seems reborn. But hope is fragile. What begins as applause soon becomes silence, as the crowds discover the savior is only another predator. The tyrant learns quickly that promises are weapons. Bread becomes rations. Jobs become conscription. Faith becomes chains. And the very crowds that once shouted their names now whisper them in fear. For a time, the tyrant rules as though invincible. Palaces rise like mountains of stone, filled with gold, tapestries, and whispered flattery. The tyrant sits wrapped in velvet and arrogance, believing the world has bent forever. Coins are struck with their face, laws carved with their hand. Soldiers sharpen their blades, not for battle, but for silence. Neighbors vanish overnight, their absence explained with excuses too thin to hide the truth. Families whisper prayers behind locked doors, hoping their children will not be taken next. The tyrant's throne gleams, but it gleams because of the fear reflected in every pair of eyes. Silence becomes the true anthem of the empire. And silence, though it feels unbreakable, is only the pause before the storm. Decay is quiet at first. Bread lines grow longer. Whispers of discontent spread through taverns, temples, and markets. Once loyal generals meet in secret, sharpening knives not for foreign enemies, but for the throne itself. The tyrant answers fear with harsher decrees, but every law carved into stone only cracks the foundation further. Starvation gnaws at the people. Fields rot, while the palace feasts. Children beg at gates too high to climb. Soldiers who once pledged loyalty wonder why they bleed for a master who never sees their faces. The tyrant tightens their grip on the crown, but crowns are jagged. They slice into the flesh, drawing blood from the very hands that clutch them. It is here, in the twilight of every reign, that the world prepares to burn. No tyrant escapes the curse of the throne. Rivals rise from the shadows. The mob gathers hungry, not just for bread, but for vengeance. The palace shakes with chants that no decree can silence. Walls that once seemed eternal crumble under the weight of rage. The tyrant is dragged from the throne, their crown rolling into the dust. Flames consume what once was a palace of marble and gold, leaving only ash. Yet the throne itself, broken though it seems, remains, waiting, always waiting, because the cycle never ends. From the ashes, another figure emerges, hand outstretched toward the same cursed seat. One throne, endless corpses, an unbroken circle that humanity cannot resist.